Hey mathematics learners, welcome to Distance Learning with Lee, where I make learning mathematics super easy. So on today's video tutorial, we're going to be analyzing a provincial map, right? So what is a provincial map? Okay, so a provincial map, right, is a map that basically focuses on like one province. So we can see that, okay, from just looking at this map, that the province, the Northwest, right, is being focused on. Okay, so when we're looking at provincial maps, it focuses on a particular province, whether it's the Northwest, Gauteng, Eastern Cape, Northern Cape. It focuses on that province, right? And we see, national roads, right? Municipal roads and things like that. So in today's video tutorial, we're going to be focusing on this provincial map. Okay, and what is a regional map? In the previous video tutorial, we looked at a regional map. What is a regional map? So it's a map that shows different regions, okay, maybe different countries, different provinces are indicated on that map, right? And then you're able to differentiate between those different, provinces, countries, okay, by the different colors that are used on the map, okay, or different shades that are used on the map, okay. So please just know the difference between those two. Okay, so we're going to be basically looking at key features, okay, that we can see from this map to help us analyze this map. We can see that there's a key on this map, we can see that there's a compass on this map, we see that there's a scale. So we're going to be using all those important features together to help us analyze this map in detail. So before we get started, please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, guys. Okay, please make sure that you are subscribed. Check to see if you subscribe to the channel. Okay, please make sure that you click on that notification bell so that you get notified every single time I upload a new video tutorial, guys. And also please share these video tutorials with your friends. I'm asking you to please share these tutorials with all of your friends. Okay, please make these video tutorials reach more learners in our country. Okay, the plan is to help every single learner in our country better understand mathematics. Mathematics is not hard. Okay, all as long as you are able to just break down the complex concepts into smaller pieces, I promise you it becomes so easy when it comes to you putting everything together to help you solve a problem. Okay, also guys, if you really appreciate the content that I'm creating for you, also please consider being a member of the channel. It's just 19 rand, it's 19 rand 99. Okay, so if you really appreciate what I'm doing for you guys here on this channel, please also consider being a member. Okay, the benefits of being a member, especially the Maths Gang, right? You can choose that option of the Maths Gang. Okay, you get to watch all these video tutorials first. Okay, so you don't have to wait 3 days, 2 days to watch something. Okay, as long as you're a member, the minute I upload it, you get to watch it. Okay, so please consider that as well, if you really appreciate the content that I'm creating for you guys here. So without any further ado, let's get started with today's video tutorial.
Hi.
So this we are basically told that below is a map of the Northwest showing destination, towns, cities, and interleading roads. Okay, so we are told that this is a map of the Northwest. Okay, showing national roads leading to towns and cities. So like I mentioned, right, on this map we are basically given key features. Okay, or key elements. Okay, that we can use to help us analyze this map. We can see that we've got a key there. Okay, and a key basically helps us identify what is meant by certain symbols that are given on this map. Okay, so we can see that when you're seeing that rectangle there, okay, that basically means that, okay, when we see that on our map, it just means destination, town, or city. Okay, right? When we see that smaller nyana rectangle there with an N, right, that basically means that that is a national road. Okay, so a key just helps us better understand our map because it helps us and identify, right, the symbols that are indicated on our map. We're also given a compass on our map. So from this compass, what do we know? If you see a compass with an N there, it just means that your north is facing up. Okay, so that's just what it means, that your north is facing up. So we can already, add, your other cardinal points, right, on the side for yourself, just to help you better, analyze this map. So it's naughty, elephant, sprays, water. That's it. Okay. And by doing that, it just makes it, better for you when it comes to analyzing this map. Another thing that's given to us on this map is a line scale. Do you see that we're given a line scale, right? Some people might, say that it's a bar scale. It's fine. That will also be marked correctly, but this is the line scale. So that line scale will help us, right, when it comes to, if they ask us what is the distance between Freiburg to Pretoria. Okay, what is the actual distance? Then we know that, okay, we just need to first start off by measuring, and finding out what is the measured length on the map. And then from there, we use the bar scale to help us convert that measured length into an actual length. What else is also given on this map? We've got those small, dots or circles, however, whichever way that you want to look at it. We've got these circles on, our map. What do they mean? That circle there, that circle there, that circle there. Do you see what I'm doing? So those circles basically tell us that, right? If, for example, you had to measure the distance from Freiburg, to Pretoria, you'd measure from this circle to that circle. Okay, so that's basically pinpointing, the different towns, the different, cities on the map. It's just pinpointing that you're starting from there. That's that town. That is that town there. Okay. So it's just pinpointing, the different towns, cities, that are given to us on that map. So I think we're more than ready, to basically have a look at the questions that are given to us. So let's have a look at the first questions, right? It says, let me just make myself a bit smaller here, okay? So all the time when you get to your exam, right, and you're reading your questions, also have a look at the mark allocation, because that gives you an indication of how much you need to answer or how little you need to answer. Okay, so please take note of the mark allocation that is given to you there. It says use the map above to answer the questions that follow. Okay, question 1.3.1. Okay. Question 1.3.1 says identify the type of scale that is used in the map. So what type of a scale is used in this map? Okay. So even if you say a line scale or a linear scale or a bar scale, that will be marked correctly. Okay. But it does look like, this is a line scale. Okay. But some learners might think that, okay, but it looks like bars. So it's a bar scale. So whichever one that you feel that it looks like between the two, it's still fine, because remember, a line scale, bar scale, okay, they work in the exact same way. Okay, so I'm gonna say it's a bar scale. Imagine just 2 marks for being able to identify what type of a scale it is. Question 1.3.2 says, name the province that lies east of the Northwest. So obviously, like I said, this is a map, right, that shows the Northwest. Okay, so now what is the province that lies to the east of the Northwest? So any province that we can see that's to the east of the Northwest, obviously, okay, the province that's to the east, it's Gauteng. The province that's, to the south, we can say it's Free State, Northern Cape. Okay, you're right. The province that's to the northeast, it's Limpopo. Okay, so we can just say that, okay, the province that's to the east of Northwest is Gauteng, right? It is Gauteng. Right, cool stuff. Question 1.3.3. Identify the national roads passing through Freiburg. So we just need to find out, where is Freiburg on this map. So we can see that on this map. Okay, that is Freiburg. Okay, so what are the national roads that pass through Freiburg? Okay, so we can see that it's the N14. Do you see that? The N14 passes through Freiburg, and we also can see that it's the N17. The N17 passes through Freiburg. So it's the N14 as well as the N17. Okay, the N14 and the N17. Good stuff. Question 1.3.4. Write down the number of destination towns or cities shown on the map. So here, guys, right? Remember, right? The key tells us what are the destination town or cities. So obviously, you're not gonna go there and count, terra firma, Taung Christiana. No, we're not going to count that. We're going to use the key to help guide us, into determining what are the destination towns or cities. Okay, so therefore, the destination towns or cities that are indicated on the map, it's Francistown 1, Tabazimbi 2, Polokwane 3, Durban 4, Bloemfontein 5, Kimberley 6, Uppington 7. So the destination town or cities that are, shown on the map, it's just 7. Okay. Number 1.3.5, measure in millimeters the direct distance as the crow flies from Bloemhof to Lichtenberg. Remember, that is why I love, saying that, if they're asking for general direction, right? You need to now just say that you picture yourself as a bird flying from one place to another. You can fly in a straight line. So hence why they've said as a crow flies, as a bird flies from Bloemhof to Lichtenberg. So that you don't now try to go on the roads and try to measure. No, no. Just a straight line distance. Okay. So they want you to measure in millimeters the direct distance from Bloemhof to Lichtenberg. So we're going to measure this using what? My ruler. So where is from Bloemhof to Lichtenberg? So we're starting at Bloemhof and then we're going to Lichtenberg. So from Bloemhof, where's Bloemhof? That's where Bloemhof is. We are going to Lichtenberg. That is where Lichtenberg is. Remember those points there? It's pointing out where is Lichtenberg. It's a point that shows us where exactly is Bloemhof on that, map. So we're gonna measure the distance from those two as a crow flies. Do you see there? So obviously we're just going in a straight line. Okay. Then all that you need to do, even in your exam, when you get questions like this, literally take a ruler and measure in the units that they tell you to measure in. Okay. So we're gonna measure in millimeters. All right. So I'm gonna take my ruler. Please remember what I said about my ruler, okay? So I've got my ruler out and I'm going to measure the distance there, right? So if you measure with your ruler, do you see that it's 0? It's 1. Let me see if I can put a pointer there. It's 0, it's 1, it's 2, it's 3, it's 4.5. Remember, my ruler measures in centimeters, né? So it's 4.5 centimeters. Okay, so I'm getting 4.5 centimeters. But if you were measuring in millimeters, right, you would get 45 millimeters. Okay, so if you're measuring in millimeters, you'd get 45 millimeters. So the key here is that if you're given a question where they ask you to measure, right, literally take a ruler and measure the distance, okay, from Bloemhof to Lichtenberg, okay. And remember, okay, you just need to draw a straight line from Bloemhof going to Lichtenberg, and you just want to measure that straight line. Okay, so from my ruler, I got 45 millimeters. All right, cool stuff. All right, so we're basically done with these 5 questions. Nice and easy. Do you see that when it comes to, map analysis, right? We can literally scrape, you know, 10 marks, very easy, provided that you just know how to analyze your map. Okay, provided that you know what you need to focus on, right? Is there a key? Is there a compass? What type of a scale is given there, right? But now I'm not going to stop it there, because remember, this question just stops there. I took it a step further and I included, additional questions to help us when it comes to working with the scale that is given to us, giving general direction, giving clear set of direction, right? So I included some additional questions there so that we can basically go a bit deeper when it comes to these questions, right? So then, okay, so remember here, I just said that here, the measured distance from Bloemhof to Lichtenberg is equal to 40 millimeters or 4 centimeters. Okay, so this is basically the measured distance that I got, right? If you've got a printed, if you have this map printed out, you'll probably get 40 millimeters or 4 centimeters. Okay, let's have a look at question 1.3.6. It says, hence determine the distance on the ground in kilometers from Bloemhof to Lichtenberg if 20 millimeters on the map equals 80 kilometers in real life. So this is very important because you can get some questions where you're given a question like this, okay, Where does that 20 millimeters on the map equals to 80 kilometers in real life come from? It comes from the map. So you'll see there, okay, if you basically zoom into your map, I'm going to try to zoom in, right? Remember, we were given our scale there, right? We are given our scale there. What does this scale mean? Okay, so there at the top, right? This top one, okay, that one is giving us units in kilometers, meaning that if you measure from this 0 to that 80, right? That's basically if you the measure that's basically telling you that the measured distance on the map is equal to 80 kilometers in real life. So that top, line scale is basically giving us our units in kilometers. Okay. And then if you basically have a look at this um, line scale at the bottom, because there's two there. There's like two scales put on top of each other. Okay. And the bottom scale, okay, our line scale gives us units in miles. Okay. So obviously we're not going to use that one. We want to use the one that has, our units in kilometers, because that is what we use in South Africa when we are, measuring distance. Okay, actual distance is given in kilometers. We don't use miles, guys. Okay, so that's why then we're just going to use that top one or the line scale at the top, right? The one that, gives us the units in kilometers. Okay, so from measuring from the 0 to the 80, we got 80 kilometers. And that basically means that they took the ruler, they put it onto the line scale, and they measured from 0 to 80 kilometers. And when they measured from 0 to 80 kilometers, they got it to be 20 millimeters. And what does that mean? That if you measure from there to there and you got 20 millimeters, if you measure from there to there and you got 20 millimeters, what does that mean in real life? It just means that in real life it is 80 kilometers. Okay, so hence, right, determine the distance on the ground in kilometers from Bloemhof to Lichtenburg. A 20 millimeters on the map equals 80 kilometers in real life. So we're going to use this measured distance that I've indicated here in red, that the measured distance from Bloemhof to Lichtenburg is 40 millimeters. I know that I said it's 45 millimeters because remember I was using the online ruler, but if you've got your physical paper, you measure it, it's supposed to be 40 millimeters or 4 centimeters. Yeah? Okay, so what does this mean? What is now the distance on the ground? Because that's what they want. Okay, what is the distance on the ground? Okay, if you are given that 20 millimeters on the map equals 8 kilometers in real life. Okay, so what does this mean? 20 millimeters on the map is to 80 kilometers in real life. Easy. Okay, so because we've already measured the distance from Bloemhof to Lichtenburg in millimeters, okay, we are just going to take that 40 millimeters. At this point, you guys should be comfortable with what we're doing here. You just multiply by what you want. 80 kilometers, we want the real divided by what you have, which is 20 millimeters. Okay, or okay, you can choose to do this. Okay, you can just take the scale of 20 millimeters is to 80 kilometers, and you can maybe simplify it. Okay, you can simplify this, right? What do I mean by simplify? You can write it in the form of 1 millimeter is equal to something kilometers. Okay, so from there you can just divide both sides by 20. Okay, divide both sides by 20, divide both sides by 20. 20 divided by 20 is 1 millimeter is to 4 kilometers, right? So do you see that we've basically now simplified this ratio? 20 millimeters is to 80 kilometers. Okay, by writing it in the form of 1 millimeter is equal to something kilometers, and then from there, still the same thing, we're just going to take that 40 millimeters. We want to convert these 40 millimeters into a real life distance, or the distance on the ground. We just multiply by what we want, which is 4 kilometers. Okay, divided by 1 millimeter, still the same thing. Okay, so if you 40 multiply by 4, okay, you'll still get 160 kilometers, right? So that's basically the real life distance from Bloemhof to Lichtenburg. Okay, still the same thing, same answers, different way. Okay, so this is also still 160 kilometers. So whether you want to simplify, whether you choose not to, okay, it's just up to you. But at the end of the day, you're just going to get the same answer. All right. Cool stuff. Let's have a look at question 1.3.7. It says, convert the given bar scale 20 millimeters on the map is equal to 80 kilometers in real life into a ratio scale. So remember in the previous activity or video tutorials, I showed you guys how you need to go about converting a bar scale or a line scale into a ratio scale, right? So we start off by writing that 20 millimeters is to 80 kilometers. Okay, so if you want to convert this into a ratio scale, remember what I did there. I gave you examples that you can refer back to, right? That a ratio scale is written in the form of 1 is to something. There are no units there. So we want to get to that point. That is what we want to get to. 1 is to something, for example, that, e.g., something like that. Okay, where there's no units, there's a 1 on the left hand side and a number on the right hand side, right? And there are no millimeters, no kilometers indicated there on our scale. So how can we get to this point? First thing that we can see here, we can see that our units are not the same. So before we can do anything, we need to change our units and make them the same. So I'm going to change those kilometers and I'm going to change them into millimeters. So it's 20 millimeters is to. How do you convert kilometers to millimeters? Remember, you need to already be thinking back to that diagram. You are multiplying by 1,000. Okay, you're multiplying by 100. You are multiplying by 10. So it's the same as just multiplying by a million. So if you just take 80 kilometers, multiply by a million, what do you get? You get 80 million millimeters, right? And then what do we need to do now, right? Remember, we want it to be in the form of 1 is to something. So all that's left for us to do, we just need to divide both sides by 20 millimeters, by 20 millimeters. So if we divide 80 million by 20, what do you get? You'll find that, oh, actually, this bar scale converted into a ratio scale is actually equal to 1 is to 4 million. Okay, so we've basically converted this bar scale into a ratio scale. Simple as that. Okay, right? So please just tell me, are we flying through these questions? Okay, did the previous video tutorials help us better understand, these questions that are given 1.3.6, 1.3.7? Okay, are they now easier to answer? Please let me know by commenting down below, please. Right? Question 1.3.8. What is the general direction? What is the general direction from Hartbeespoort to is it Schweizer Renega. Okay, what is the general direction? Remember, when we want the general direction, they just want the straight line distance. From, remember when they say from the town or the city or the place after the word from, that means that you're starting there and you're going there. Okay, so we're starting from Hartbeespoort. So let's look for that. Okay, so you can see that that's Hartbeespoort that is there, right? To Schweizer Renega. I don't know how to pronounce this. Please, someone help me with the pronunciation of this word. So we're going from there to there. You're starting there, going there. So what is the general direction? Okay, so all that you can do to help you with this, right? You can just draw even your compass on top of the place where you're starting from. Okay, Hartbeespoort, you can just draw that compass there. Just do it in red. You can just draw your compass there so that it will help you. So this is naughty, elephant, sprays water. So do you see that now? The general direction is what? Do you see that this line is going in between south and west? So the general direction from Hartbeespoort to Renega is just southwest. Okay, let's continue. Question 1.3.9. Give a clear set of directions from Gaborone to Pretoria. Is it Gaborone to Pretoria? Okay, so they want a clear set of directions. Remember, what did I say about a clear set of directions? Okay, they want you to now obviously make reference to the roads that you're going to be on. Okay, in which direction will you be traveling along the road? Which other road will you be getting on? In which direction will you be traveling on that road? Things like that. So when I want a clear set of direction, you need to be clear on the roads that you're going to be traveling on. Okay, so it's not a straight line distance anymore, but you need to now first start off by highlighting, the route that you'll take, and then from there give directions based on the route that you've highlighted. Okay, so what's a clear set of directions from Gaborone to Pretoria, Gaborone to Pretoria? So what is the clear set of directions? So all that you need to do here, first need to find out where is Gaborone. Okay, so that is where it is there, right? Where's Pretoria? That is where Pretoria is, right? So what is the clear set of direction? First thing that you need to do, you need to highlight the route that you're going to take. So it's going to be there. Do you see that you're starting? Then you're traveling along the N4. You're passing Zeerust. Then you're passing Rustenburg, passing Hartbeespoort, then you get on to Pretoria. So what is the clear set of direction? What would you say there? All right. So you'd basically say that, okay, from Gaborone, you're going to, travel onto the N4 and move in the southeasterly direction, okay, along the N4. So you're going to travel along the N4 in the southeasterly, direction, right? And then after passing Hartbeespoort, right, you're going to basically move in the south direction along the N1 going to Pretoria. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that. I'm not going to write it down, so you just need to listen. Okay, so from Gaborone, okay, you're going to get onto the N4 and travel in the southeasterly direction. So you're going to travel in the southeasterly direction along the N4. Then after passing Hartbeespoort, okay, you're going to get onto the N1 and travel in the south direction onto to reach Pretoria. Okay, so that's basically how you give a clear set of direction. It's also best to just identify the last town or last place or last city that you're going to be passing. Identify that. So after passing Hartbeespoort, you're gonna travel along the N1 in the south direction until you reach Pretoria. Okay, that's how you basically are supposed to give what? A clear set of directions. Good stuff. So we are done with giving a clear set of directions. I did mention that I'm not going to type that. So I think you should have, listened, and you need to obviously write that down. Question 1.3.10. Give the real life distance from Kersdorp to Potchefstroom if the measured length on the map is 10 millimeters. Okay, so this is question 3.1. 1.3.10. So here, what do they want? Okay, they want you to give the real life distance. So right there, remember, just write real life distance. That is what they want. That's what they want. Okay, they want the real life distance. Okay, if the measured length on the map is 10 millimeters. So the measured length. Okay, right. So what are we going to use here? Right, to basically get the real life distance. Remember, we were given that, they measured the bar scale for us, right? They told us what that bar scale means. Okay, it said that, right, 20 millimeters on the map is to 80 kilometers in real life. Okay, that is, what is indicated by our bar scale. Then we further on went and we simplified that to 1 millimeter is to 4 kilometers. It's the same thing, guys. Whether you use this or this, it's the same thing. Okay, it just depends on what you prefer as a person. Okay, and then from there, what do we need to do? We just need to take that 10 millimeters. Okay, from that 10 millimeters, we want what? The real life distance. So this 20 represents the map, or this 1 represents the map. The 80 or this 4 represents the real, right? So what do we need to do? We are just going to multiply by what do we want? We want the real, so you can just multiply it by, 80 kilometers, okay, divided by 20 millimeters. Okay, what do you get? Then you'll get that the real life distance is actually equal to 40 kilometers. Millimeters cancel. You're left with units in kilometers, right? So that is basically, the real life distance from Klerksdorp to Potchefstroom. Okay, Right, question 1.3.11. What would be the measured length on the map if the real life distance from Stella to Mahikeng is 114.6 kilometers? Okay. So now in this case, right, they want the real life distance. So question one, point 3.11, right? They're telling us that the real or the actual um distance, okay, is actually equal to 114.6 kilometers. So it's 114.6 kilometers. That's the real. So they want what is the measured length on the map? Okay, so here, right, you need to make use of the bar scale to help you determine what is the measured length on the map. Okay, don't measure unless they ask you to measure it. Okay, so here, just make use of the bar scale to help you determine what is the measured length on the map, right? So that is what we are trying to determine. Remember from the bar scale, right? It's 20 millimeters is to 80 kilometers, or okay, if you simplify 1 millimeter is to 4 kilometers. Okay, potato. It's the same thing there, right? So then all that we need to do, we're just going to take that 114.6 kilometers, multiply by what we want. We want the measured length on the map, okay? On the map. So you're gonna multiply by 20 millimeters divided by what you have, obviously that other value, so it's 80 kilometers. So you'll see kilometers will cancel. Your answer will be in millimeters. So 114.6 multiplied by 20 divided by 8, 80. You'll get that it's 28, comma 65 millimeters. So that's basically what the measured length is on the map. Right, cool stuff. And then let's look at then the next question. What is the significance of having a key on a map? What is the significance of having a key on a map, right? And I mentioned this, right? A key on a map helps us identify what the different symbols mean on the map. Okay, so a key on a map helps us identify the different symbols or signs that are given on a map. So if you made it to, the end of this video tutorial, well done to you. Okay, I hope that, this, you found value in this video tutorial where we're just analyzing, this national, provincial map. Okay, so I hope that, we managed to dissect everything. And I think from here, analyzing such maps should be a breeze, okay, because you know what all these, terms mean and how you're supposed to use, key features that are given to you on a map to help you answer questions, right? So if you made it to the end of this video tutorial, please say Parmalat. Parmalat. Yeah, if you made it to the end of this video tutorial, because then that just lets me see how many students are actually. I just want to see how many of you are just getting to the end. All right, so that is it for today's video tutorial, ladies and gentlemen. Please make sure that you keep your eyes glued to the channel because we're still gonna get to finance. Okay, I'm gonna be going through important concepts that you really need to know before obviously writing your exams. So please make sure that you're watching all these tutorials. And also, guys, if you're asking for something on the comment section, okay, I think just adding a please may you, okay, improves the tone of whatever that you're asking for there. Okay, so say please may you, all right, that just improves the tone. But if you're saying where is paper two, share the rest. You see, do you see how it sounds? Okay, so I think if you do English, you understand what I'm talking about. Everyone should be doing English, right? About the tone of something. Okay, to improve the tone, please may you share. Please may you upload this. It improves something, the tone of something, so it doesn't sound like you're demanding something. Okay, so please may you share this. Ma'am, please, where can I find this? May you please share this. Okay, let's also please work on that because it really improves how something, is received on the other side. So I'll see you guys on my next video tutorial. Okay, so please make sure that you just set your notifications on for 6 p.m.
That is it, guys, and I'll see you guys on my next upload, Distance Learning with Lee, where I make learning mathematics super easy. Bye, guys.